missed the first couple minutes of warm up. We'll pick it up from here. So calf stretch, left leg forward, right leg back, narrow stance. So you've got your back heel on the ground, bending and extending the front leg. Keeping those hips squared. You can go just a little deeper. We'll do 2 more. And then switching sides, stretching our opposite calf and hip flexor. Right foot forward, left foot back. And then when you're ready, bend and extend that front leg. Two more. And coming back to center carefully, we're just going to add on those ankles to end, so point and flex with your right foot first. And circles around. And reverse. And switching sides, point and flex. And left circles. And reverse right circle. All right, shake it on out. You guys can grab some water if you need to. All supersets tonight. These first 2 exercises, you just need your weights. We'll be standing for both of them. So your first one, we're going to do weighted lateral lunges. So we're side lunges. So we're going to step out to the side. Weights are going to come on either side of our knee. Remember, for lateral lunges, we push off the side of our foot and we come back feet together. Our goal tonight is to get 12 each side. You can do this without weight if you prefer or if you need to. If you can, get those weights on the outside of the bent knee. So we're going to start stepping out with our right leg out to the side, bend that right knee, left leg straight, press back to center. So remember, you want to try to always step directly to the side. You're not stepping in front of your body or behind your body. Chest step. Total. Push off that side of that foot to get that foot back to center. Once you get 12, just move to the opposite side of your mat. When you're ready, get right into it, stepping out, bending the left knee. Right leg is straight. Hands on either side of your knee. Chest is up. $12 and $12 each side. Once you get your 12, set one of your weights down. Give you guys a moment just to catch up. And we're going to be doing our second motion. So in our second exercise, we're going to do a single arm bent over lateral raise. So there's 2 different body positions you can take for this, and either is fine, whatever keeps your back the flattest. So the first way is to do it kind of like a bent over row position. So knees are bent and you're going to lean forward. The free hand is going to come to the thigh. Okay, so you're going to be here, keeping your back supported. You're leaning forward, arms going to come out to the side, and then it's going to come back down. Okay. The other way to do it is kind of how the way we do single arm bent over row sometimes, where you take a little bit of that lunge stance, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, and then same thing, free hand is on the thigh supporting your back, arm comes out to the side. Doesn't matter to me which way feels more comfortable for you. I think I prefer a little bit more like a lunge stance, but if you prefer keeping your feet together, doesn't matter to me as long as your back is flat and supported. So we'll start right hand down, you're leaning forward, you're supporting your back, arm comes out to the side, then we're slowly coming down. We're going to do 12 each side here. When you're ready, you can start. Make sure your wrist stays straight. And then you're gonna just switch sides, okay? So arm comes to the opposite side. You're either in that bent over row position or you're kind of in this lunge stance like I am. Either way is fine. Whatever makes you feel more stable. Trying to keep that core nice and tight. Total. Once you get 12 each side, you can stand on up, shake it on out. So with those bent over lateral raises, you're just hitting a little bit more of the rear part of your shoulder. When we stand up and do a lateral raise, you're hitting more of the front and middle. If we bend over, you're hitting a little bit more of the middle and back. So we're just kind of incorporating a little bit of a different part of our shoulder. So when you do it, think about the same body position as a lateral raise.
Hey Lily,
so,
this is Teresa. You keep.
Uh-oh.
Hey Lily, this is Teresa. You keep freezing. No, you keep freezing. I don't know if it's my internet or yours, but I can't. It keeps freezing.
Yes, no, you're freezing.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah, I think it's your Wi-Fi. Yeah.
Hold on. I'm going to switch to my phone. Okay. How am I right now? Am I spacing at all?
Good.
Does it seem good?
Now it's good.
Okay. Well, dang it, my internet. Thank you, Spectrum. I just switched over, so now I'm like connected to my phone's hotspot. So this one should just stay the whole time. Sorry about that, guys. Did you get my 2 exercises? I stuttered through them. Okay. Well, if I cut out again, just come on again and let me know, and I'll try to fix it. But let's go for a second set, starting with our lateral lunges. So stepping out with the right leg. Remember, these are 12 each side. Pressing off the side of the foot, chest up. $12 on one side, 12 on the other. So once you get done with your right side, get right into that left side. You guys are so good though. Even though it's freezing, you just kept going with it. I could see you all moving. That's good. You didn't stop just because I froze. $12 total, each side. Chest up, hips back. Once you get that 12 and 12, you can set that weight down. And just to review, in case I was breaking up last time, your body stance, you can either be bent over here, or if you want to take lunge stance, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, both are totally fine. Whatever makes your back more flat, but let's get into that position. And we're gonna go for our bent over lateral raises. These are also 12 aside. Once you get 12 one side, just switch, same body stance. Elbows unlocked, shoulders down, wrist is straight. Once you get your 12 and 12, you can go ahead and relax. Am I still coming through okay? Good for now? Okay, perfect. Now I'm like worried about it. What I was gonna say last time. So think about your bent over lateral raise the same as you would your standing lateral raise. So elbows are unlocked, shoulders are down, and wrists are straight. So it's really just taking this position and bending forward with it. So the arm looks the same. You're just working a little bit more on the back side of your shoulder as well as that middle of your shoulder. All right, shake out those arms just a little bit. And then we're gonna get into our last set here. So lateral lunges, waist on the outside of the knee, starting on one side of your mat, stepping out, right leg bends first, chest up, hips back. Last set of 12 each side. Twelve on one. Take a moment just to switch sides, and let's start right into our second side. 12 on the left side. Twelve total. Once you get 12 both sides, one weight goes down. Last time, single arm bent over roast. Remember, either stance is fine. Unlock the elbow, pop that shoulder down away from your ear, out to the side for 12. Trying to keep that core nice and tight, so you're just using that shoulder. Once you get 12, switch to your second side. Twelve and 12. Once you get 12 on your second side, take a mini break, grab a quick sip of water. Going into these next exercises, this is where you're gonna need the loop band if you have it, okay? We're gonna be doing loop band sumo squats. So if you don't have a loop band, you can just do sumo squats holding on to a weight. But if you have the loop band, it's gonna come up right above your knees on your thighs, okay? So you might need a chair to just, sometimes that's easier to balance to get your band in place. So it would come up tight right around, right above your knees. So make sure you're compressing your knees. Those of you guys that don't have this kind of band, just grab either one weight or two weights and you're gonna hold it at your chest, okay? So that's the alternative here. We are gonna go for sumo style. So you're gonna go a little wider than your normal squat and then toes are at that 45-degree angle. So if you've got a band on your legs already in this position, you should feel that tension. So you wanna think, actively push out to the side with that band as you sit back in your squat. If you guys are doing it with a dumbbell, still think the same thing, push the knees out. Remember, sumo, we're a lot wider and we are angled out to the side. So we're gonna go for 12, so we're pushing the knees out, we're sitting back, we're standing back up, that's one. Pushing the knees out, chest stays up, butt goes back. 12 total. This is really great if you have a problem with your knees collapsing too, kind of falling in towards each other. And once you get 12, if you're wearing the band, you can take the band off, set it down to the side. If you have weights, we just need one weight for this next motion. So one weight, we're going to do single arm tricep kickbacks, okay? So we're going to get to that same, almost that lunge stance that we did before, okay? One hand is going to be, the free hand is going to be on your thigh. Opposite hand with the weight is going to come to your hip, elbows up above your rib cage, okay? So elbow to shoulder is going to stay there. You're just going to kick back, squeeze behind your arm, and then bend at the elbow, come back forward. Kick back, squeeze, and then bend forward. We're going to be doing 12 each side. So when you're ready, you can start. So you're supporting your back, arm stays up. You're really just moving from your wrist to your elbow. Kick back. Like your arm is a kickstand. You're popping it out. 12. And then once you get 12 to one side, you're just switching. So you're starting in that stance where you're holding yourself up, hands free, hand comes to the hip, elbows up behind you, and then you extend back. So you really should just be feeling this in the back of the arm. Be careful you're not swinging the arm down as you go. Keep that elbow up. $12 total each side. Once you get your 12 on each side, you can set your weight down. Moving this off to the side. So that movement, it's like, think of it like that robot dance, this thing. That's exactly what's going on. So you really should kind of think about your elbow staying frozen and you're just moving the hand. If you let your elbow drop down and you're kind of doing more like this, you're just allowing your shoulder and your back to help you with the motion. So you're not isolating that tricep because that tricep is weaker than your shoulder and your back generally for most people. So the tendency is to kind of want to swing it back to help get that arm back. But if you can just keep the elbow up, you're going to force your tricep to work by itself. You should feel it burn maybe a bit more in the back of that arm. All right, if you are doing the loop band, you can go ahead and start getting your band back in position. Take the moment here. Get it so it's above those knees. If you guys don't have loop bands like this either, and you're looking to purchase them, I got these ones on Amazon. I have a cloth one now. I got cloth ones because the rubber ones are fine, but I've snapped a couple in my day. So these cloth ones are really thick, but they definitely aren't going to break anytime soon. So they're pretty cheap too on Amazon if anybody's ever looking for them. So wide stance, heels, toes out to the side, hands come up to your chest. If you're using a weight, you're holding it here. We're pressing the knees out to the side as the hips go back. Second set of 12. Push those knees out every time. $12 total. Once you get your 12, if you've got the band, just shimmy it off, set it off to the side. And then just one weight for tricep kickbacks. Remember, keep from the shoulder, the elbow still. Just move that forearm. Get that solid stance, free arms, helping to support your back. Get that elbow above your rib cage, and then extending back behind you for 12. Isolate that tricep. And switch. Opposite side, get your stance first, get that hand up, elbow back, and then moving at that forearm. 12 total, each side. When you're done, you can set that weight down. Take a quick breather before we go into our last round. These loop bands came with 2. I'm gonna look at the brand. Recredo, R-E-C-R-E-D-O. I have no idea about this brand. All I know is that it was on Amazon. If you look on Amazon, if you're looking for, just do loop cloth or cloth loop bands, and they come up. I think it was less than $20 for 2 of them. Especially if you tend to have like aggravated knees, or if you know you have arthritis in your knees, doing squats like this, even doing squats like this and adding weight, is really great because it helps strengthen that outer part of the knee that gets really wobbly, gets really loose. All right, last time through, sumo squats, so wider than our normal squat stance, angled out to the side, hands up to the chest, push those knees out, hips go back. Last time. $12 total. Once you get your 12, sneak my band off to the side, grab my one weight. Last time through with my single arm kickbacks, get that good stance, free hand to your thigh, support your back, elbow up, extend straight back behind you. Last time 12, each arm. And then switch around. Same stance, get that elbow up, elbow behind the rib cage if you can, hold it there. And then you can set your weight down. Relax for a moment. Going into this next superset, guys, this is one where you're going to need a chair. You're also going to need something to prop your toes up on, like a book, or here I'm going to use just a piece of wood because it's in my garage, and that's convenient. So something that's like maybe an inch or 2 that you're going to be able to prop your feet on. This is going to be for our second exercise. So while you guys are locating that, I thought maybe I'd show you some options for loop bands since I have way too many in my house. I'll tell you which ones I think are good and which ones I'm not a fan of. Okay, we'll start with the ones I'm not a fan of. These ones are the Rogue ones. They're really thin. My husband likes these ones. They're very strong, like strength-wise, these things are really strong. They're very painful though, because they're so thin and so thick. Like if you put them around your thighs or your ankles, I feel like they cut into your leg. So I'm not a huge fan of the really thin, strong ones, but we have plenty of them in our house in case we ever feel like using them. These ones, the Go Fit ones, are thick, and you can get these at Target. These are directly from Target. It usually comes in a pack of 3. I did break one of them. So I will say that they're very thin. So if you use one that's too light for you, you have the potential of breaking it. But these are also really inexpensive and very easy to get at Target. I see them there every time I go in. Spry makes loop bands too. I think these are the exact same quality as the ones from Target. So honestly, you're probably better off getting the Target ones. Lastly, if you want to get really fancy with loop bands, I have a couple that have ankle straps. These ones are Spry. If you were to kind of splurge on ones, I would get these ones just because it's a little bit more comfortable and these are a little bit more versatile for other things as well. So these are a good one. And then the last one, like I used tonight, the cloth bands. So in my own personal workouts, I probably use the cloth bands and I use these ones with the the little attachments on the end. Those are my two preferences. But there you go. A whole series of loop bands. How many do you need for one household? Obviously, we have way too many, is the answer to that question. All right, so moving forward, our first exercise, we're gonna be doing standing, but do have that chair and that block or book nearby because we will need it next. We're gonna be doing alternated front raises first, okay? So we're standing up tall, our knees are unlocked, our shoulders are down. We're gonna raise our right arm up out to our chest, and then we're coming straight down, and then we're immediately gonna raise our left arm. So alternating right and left, we're gonna be doing 12 each side. So slowly raising up and coming down, trying to limit the swinging or momentum motion, just using our arm strength, keeping our core nice and tight, alternating right and left until we get 12 each side. You can either count 1, 1, 2, 2, or you can count to 24. Hopefully I remember what count I'm on at this point. Keep that shoulder down, elbow slightly unlocked, core tight. Once you get 12, both sides, set your weights down for a moment. You guys have a minute because I'm going to explain what we're doing here. This is where you're going to need both your chair and that block. So you're going to position your chair, or I'm sorry, that block or book, like a foot or two in front of your chair, okay? So it should be that you're sitting with your knees bent. Your feet normally would be flat on the floor. I want your heels down, but I want your toes up on that object. If you have absolutely nothing to put your toes up on, technically you can still do this exercise. I just feel like you're going to be able to feel it a little bit more if you have something to prop your toes up on, okay? So we're going to be doing a seated calf raise. So you're going to take your dumbbells. I want you to place them right at the end of your thighs, not on your kneecaps, but right behind your kneecaps, okay? So we're kind of loading the weights as far down as we can. From here, you're going to pop up onto your toes. So it's a calf raise. You're coming up onto the toes. Those weights should be kind of right above the balls of your toes, and then you're sinking back down. So you can do this without the block, but like I said, it's kind of nice if you have something to prop under your toes, just to give you that extra mobility of coming down below flat line. Okay, so we were doing these for 15. So once you get in position, you can load your weights over there, and let's go for 15. Squeeze on top. $15, and then from here, just make sure you move your weights back, get your toes off of your block, and then you can bring your weights down off to the side, standing on up, shaking it on out. Usually with those two, if you have a heavier set of weights, you'll probably be able to utilize them, just because it's a little less taxing because you're not having all of your body weight loaded on your calves at the same time. I don't know why I just put those back. I still need them. I'm talking and doing things at the same time. All right, standing up tall, we're going to come back to those alternating front raises. Remember, it goes right, down, left, 12 each side, shoulders away from your ears, elbows unlocked. Knees unlocked, not swinging. $12 each side. Once you get your 12 each side, you can go ahead and get that chair back in that position. I'm just going to grab my heavier weights for this second round through. So you're sitting in your chair, your heels are on the ground, Your toes are up on a book or whatever object. Could be a piece of wood like I'm using, whatever you got. And then when you're ready, pop up onto those toes, squeeze on top, lower the heels back down. Remember, these are for 15. Hands are just holding those weights to balance them. Squeeze those calves. Once you get your 15, bring those toes off. Weights come down to either side. You can stand back up, shake out those legs. Give yourself a little stretch, grab a sip of water if you need to. Before we go through that one more time. Alternating front raises and the seated calf raises. This seated calf raise motion too is a good way to train single leg calf raises as well, just because it's a little easier than having to balance to do single leg. Today we're just doing double though. Okay, grabbing those weights, last time alternating front raise, pull those shoulders away from your ears, feet under your hips, knees are unlocked, 12 each side. When you're ready, let's get after it. Shoulders down, elbows unlocked. Each side. Once you get those last 12 each side, I'm just getting my chair back in this position. Come back to seated, toes up on your block or your book. Grab those weights, load them on the ends of your thighs, right above your kneecaps. And when you're ready, last time, 15 seated calf raises. $15 total. Once you get 15, walk those feet back. You can set your weights off to your side. And then you can just move that, whatever object you were using, move it off to the side so it's not in your way. For this our last supersets here, we will be going down to our mat. You do need your chair. So first exercise, you're not going to need weights, but your second exercise will be lying down on the mat, and you will need weights for it. So you might want to put those off to the side. Now, in your setup, ideally this chair is positioned against something sturdy. So if you can move yourself so that the chair is against a wall or against something where the chair is not going to move around, that's going to be your best bet. So before you guys start doing it with me, let me just show you what it looks like first. We're going to be doing bent a leg on chair glute bridges. Okay, so you guys have done glute bridges before. We're lying flat and we're lifting our hips off the ground and we're bringing that back down. So we're just adding on to that. We're increasing that range of motion by bringing our feet up to our chair. Okay, so I kind of like to put mine right at the end. So I'm going to feel some pressure and then I'm lifting my hips as high up as I can. So you see I got a whole lot higher because my feet aren't on the ground, and then I'm going to lower back down. Okay, so that's why it's important that this is against something solid, because if I was pushing against this chair and it was just in the middle of our room, it would probably push back against me and I probably wouldn't go very far. So if you need to reposition yourself so that you're against the wall, go ahead and do so. I'm just going to show you real quick what our second motion is. So if you want to watch me as well, in case your camera view is going to be a little off based on where you're at. Our second exercise, once we finish those glute bridges, we're going to be doing alternating chest flies. So we're going to bring our feet back down to the floor. We're going to extend our arms over our chest. We're going to come out to the side. So remember, chest fly, you leave the back of your arm down to your elbow. You're going to come out to the side here. You're going to press up to center. We're just doing one arm at a time. So we go right, and then we're alternating. Left goes down and you come up. What your body's going to want to do when you go side to side is to do this, like swivel with that weight. You want to really squeeze your core as one arm's coming down so that you're not leaning over with your hips or with your legs. Okay, when we get to those, we will be doing 12 each side, just kind of pendulum back and forth there. Okay, so if you guys need to reposition yourself, we're going to go over to where our chair is and our wall. We're lying flat. We're going to bring our feet up onto our chair. Back is on the floor to start. You want to scoot your bum so it's pretty close to that chair too. So you're kind of starting maybe at like a 90-degree angle from your hips to your knees. Palms are down on the mat on either side of you. When you're ready, you're going to press through the floor, press to your feet. You're going to lift your hips and try to get a straight line from your knees to your shoulders. And then you're going to slowly lower down. So full range of motion, try to fully squeeze, lock out on top, and then slowly lower. We're going for 12. Once you get your feet up there, you can start going for it. Squeeze your butt on top. And breathe. You really feel this on the whole back side of your body, from your glutes down your hamstrings all the way to behind your kneecap. A little bit more intense of a glute bridge when we have our feet elevated like that. Once you get your 12 of those, you can grab those dumbbells. Hopefully they're nearby. Bring those feet back down to the floor. Arms extend up, and then we're going to go into our alternating chest fly. So right arm down, comes back to center, left arm down, back to center. Avoid swaying. So squeeze that core every time the arm moves. And breathe, 12 aside. Keep that elbow soft. $12 each side. Once you do get your 12 each side, weights come down, set them outside of your mat. And then you can take a moment here, relax. Now, if you want to twist or do any stretching while you're down here in between, bring the knees to the chest. You can, while we're in this break period here. And then when you're ready, we're going to get back in that position for our second set of our bent knee glute bridges. So scooting your hips, you're close to that chair, bringing your heels up onto that chair. Keeping your, the easiest way to do this at first, too, I didn't mention this, is keep your feet close together and your knees close together as well. Don't try to like avoid your knees going out to the side. Try to keep everything parallel as you lift your hips up. Palms are outside of your hips. You lift as high as you can, you squeeze, you lower down. Try to roll all the way back down, extend all the way up. 12 total. Squeezing on top. Feeling it everywhere on that back side of your body, whole posterior side, from your glutes, hamstrings, a little bit everything. Feet come back down to the floor. You're going to grab onto those weights. Alternating chest flies. Arms start right out from the chest. Pull those shoulder blades down to the mat. Alternating right arm down, center, left arm down, center, 12. Each side, avoiding that side to side swing of your core. Keep that centered. Use that belly button to your spine. Each side. Just as much a core exercise as it is a chest exercise. Once you get your 12 total, arms come down. Carefully set those weights outside of your mat, nice and steady. And then if you want to take just a mini breather here to do some stretching, now is when you can let those knees fall side to side. Kind of stretch out that low back. You can bring the knee to the chest or whatever feels good. And when you're ready, let's get ourselves set up for our last time through. Let's get those hips down, bring those feet up to that chair, get ourselves in that nice position. Knees are above your hips, hands are outside. Inhaling, exhale, lift and squeeze. Last time through 12. Total. Once you get those 12, you can bring your feet back down to your mat. Take a moment here, collect your weights, bring them in close. And hands come right above your chest. Squeeze that belly button to your spine as you lower that arms down and then back to center, down and back to center. Squeezing everything to the center of your body, the midline of your body. Taking your time, 12 each side. Squeeze that core every time the arm reaches down. And 12. Once you're finished, arms can come down, weights outside of your mat. And we'll carefully take our time here. If you want to roll over, slowly make our way back on up when you're ready. You can grab some water if you want to bring your weights off to the side. Come back into our, come off the wall, I guess, if you're on the wall or against the wall. And come back for our seated stretching. Days are getting longer. It's not pitch black anymore at the end of class. It's still like, well, lie down. Nice. All right, let's extend our right leg out, heel down, toe up, leaning forward with a flat back. And coming back in, let's switch sides. Left leg out, heel down, toe up. And coming back in with that leg, let's bring the right leg up above the left knee. Drop that hip down. Sorry about the connection problems today, guys. It still kept coming up that my internet connection was unstable, but hopefully I wasn't like skipping the whole class. Let's add our spinal twist on, hand outside the knee, looking behind you, over the right shoulder. And back through center, let's untwist. And left leg up. Letting that hip drop down, open up. And hand outside the knee, reaching around back, looking over your left shoulder. Coming back through center, untwist those legs, shake it on out. Let's sit up nice and tall, bring the right arm across your body. And switching sides, left arm across the body. And relaxing that arm down, both arms come behind the back. Interlace your fingers, drop your shoulders down. Open up that chest, pull the shoulders away. Oh, would you look at that? There's a Spectrum truck that just drove down my street. Maybe there's a problem. There's a real problem going on. It's not just me. All right, release those hands. Arms come in front, round that back. And then arms come overhead. Reaching up to the ceiling. Let's go to the right side. And back to center. Let's go over to the left side. One more time back to center. Inhale. And exhale everything out and down. Nice work, guys. Thanks so much. Sorry about the difficulties, technical difficulties at the beginning.